Today, we're going to unpack the prologue to one of philosophy's most legendary tales, Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra. We're going to look at it as a hero's journey, but through a really specific, interesting lens, framing Zarathustra as a Gothian sage, a lot like the famous Dr. Faust, on a quest to finally connect his incredible wisdom with the real world. Right out of the gate, we meet a hero with a pretty unusual problem. See, Zarathustra isn't looking for wisdom, he is literally drowning in it. This first line tells you everything you need to know. His big conflict is that he is so full of insight, he feels this urgent, almost physical need to come down from his mountain and share it. So here's how we're going to break down his journey. We'll look at 5 key stages, starting from his lonely peak, following him down into the messy reality of humanity, and then watching him transform from a hermit sage into a prophet with a totally new mission. Okay, so every hero's journey kicks off in an ordinary world. But for Zarathustra, that world is a mountaintop, and believe me, his life there is anything but ordinary. Think about it. He's spent a full decade up there, completely alone. But this isn't a story about a sad, lonely guy. He's actually reached a state of profound fulfillment, a total intellectual and spiritual peak. His problem isn't that he's empty, it's that he's overflowing. And this is where that Goethean lens we talked about becomes so important. Zarathustra's starting point is the complete opposite of Goethe's Faust. You've got Faust stuck in his dusty study, surrounded by books but feeling totally empty and suffocated. Then you have Zarathustra on his sun-drenched mountain, just overflowing with lived wisdom that he needs to get out. They're both trapped, but by opposite forces. It's brilliant. So yeah, this is the exact type of hero we're dealing with. The Goethean hero's quest isn't for gold or glory. It's this deep, internal struggle to connect all of their knowledge with the actual living, breathing world. So, what on earth would make a man who's already achieved this incredible state of fulfillment just leave it all behind? Well, that brings us to his call to adventure. You know, you can map his decision to leave perfectly onto the classic hero's journey. The call to adventure, it comes from inside him, inspired by watching the sun. He faces a refusal when a hermit basically tells him, "Don't do it, people are terrible." His supernatural aid comes from his symbolic animal friends, pride and wisdom. And then, finally, he crosses the threshold by literally walking down the mountain and into the world of people. You see, that chat with the old saint isn't just some random warning. It's a huge moment of clarity. The saint represents retreating from the world in the name of God, a path Zarathustra just completely rejects. His mission, he realizes, is grounded in a love for humanity itself, which sets his philosophy apart from traditional religion right from the get-go. All right, so Zarathustra crosses the threshold and walks right into his first great trial. He gets to a town with the wonderfully blunt name, the Motley Cow, a place just buzzing with chaos and spectacle. He's all fired up, ready to deliver this life-changing wisdom. But the crowd? They could not care less. They're all gathered to watch a tightrope walker. So his profound message is just met with laughter and total indifference. It's his first, really brutal slap in the face from reality. I mean, this is the very heart of his teaching. This idea that humanity is a dangerous temporary state, like a bridge to something greater, the Übermensch. But the irony here is just, wow. He's using this powerful metaphor of a rope over an abyss, and all the crowd can see is the literal guy on a rope walking above their heads. His philosophy just becomes background noise. And this leads us to the absolute crisis point of the prologue, where all of Zarathustra's abstract philosophy slams head-on into a very real, very tragic human event. The tightrope walker's death is just dripping with symbolism. The walker himself represents the very risk Zarathustra is talking about, the danger of trying to be a bridge. And he's sabotaged by this buffoon, this devil-like figure who stands for the petty resentment that just wants to pull down anyone who dares to climb higher. This isn't just an accident, it's a philosophical horror story playing out in real time. And right here is where he completely breaks from that Faustian model. As the walker is dying, he asks if his struggle was all for nothing. Now, a Faustian hero might get offered a deal for his soul, a promise of heaven. Zarathustra does the exact opposite. He flat out denies any devil or heaven, telling the man that his courage right here on earth is what gave his life meaning. There is no otherworldly prize. So after this total disaster in the marketplace, you'd think he'd just give up, right? But he doesn't retreat. Instead, he learns from it, finds a new kind of resolve, and completely redefines his mission. He has this huge aha moment. He realizes his wisdom isn't some gift you can just hand out to everyone. It's a tool, and it's for a specific kind of person. He can't preach to the herd. He has to go find companions, fellow creators, people who can actually take his ideas and build something new. And this is the real prize from his first journey down the mountain. The boon he comes away with isn't some magic potion, it's clarity. He finally understands that his purpose isn't to save the masses like some kind of prophet, but to inspire a creative act, the making of a new kind of human, one who creates their own values, right here on Earth. So Zarathustra sets out again, no longer a naive sage, but a focused teacher looking for his true students. And he leaves us with his powerful question, one that feels more relevant now than ever. In a world that is so full of noise, if you have something truly important to say, is the goal to shout it to everyone, or is it to whisper it to the few who can actually hear you and create something with it?